Who shot Tupac?
I already know who shot. I believe in karma. I believe in all of that.
We are here today to announce the arrest of CPD for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK.
Tupac hit us with Hit 'Em Up, and that joint was cold. I had to make the call to Biggie, and I said, we not gonna respond. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Trying to see me weak, hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some more.
New court documents show that PPD Davis accused Sean Diddy Combs of paying $1 million for the rap icon Tupac Shakur.
And then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac.
50 Cent's documentary on Diddy has already stirred major controversy by exposing new allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and his connection to some of hip-hop's most debated moments. But comedian Katt Williams has now intensified the conversation with claims about Tupac Shakur's death that Netflix reportedly excluded from Sean Combs. The Reckoning. Williams, known for being openly critical of Diddy, said he refused lucrative opportunities to stay away from that circle and hinted that he has spent years gathering hidden stories, personal accounts, and unreleased information that could completely reshape the narrative. Supporters believe this includes unseen footage and first-hand testimonies tied to Tupac that would have taken the documentary into much darker territory than what was ultimately released. While the Netflix series explored alleged links between Diddy and several turbulent events from the 1990s through interviews and archival footage, 50 Cent revealed that much of the material never appeared in the final cut, teasing nearly 140 hours of unused footage filled with deeper context and complicated relationships that couldn't fit into a 4-part series. One reportedly removed detail involved Diddy's past romantic ties intersecting with Tupac's inner circle, which Netflix allegedly excluded because of time limitations. But Williams insists his own information goes far beyond that, suggesting the complete truth is layered, far more complex, and bigger than any single documentary can fully capture. As Netflix stands by its editorial decisions, fans continue to wonder whether future projects or another season could eventually reveal the material that was left out and finally uncover the full story behind one of hip-hop's most debated chapters.
On that day, at 19-ish years old, boom, he becomes famous. Wow. And he creates that rumor reputation of he can put the biggest parties in the world and people show up, the biggest promoter. So that became a way where his image got bigger and bigger and bigger with this. And then when you continue, there's a part with what he didn't like is that Tupac and Biggie started getting very close because Tupac would allow Biggie to open for him. So you guys have to realize, I had Greg Kading on the show 10 years ago. Greg Kading is the guy that was the lead investigator of Tupac. He was in the documentary as well. He was investigating what happened to, he was investigating what happened to, and Rob, if you can pull up the podcast with he and I, and the way I did it on the board, and I put all the suspects of who could have been, and then he gets the recording and shows with Keefe D. Keefe D is the guy that was the boss who Diddy allegedly offered $1 million. They said, I'll take $1 million to take both of them out. And he's saying the recording, he's saying it to the feds. So right here, if you zoom in on this list, Rob, can you zoom in on the list? Okay. So if you zoom in, you see the bottom 3 names. You see the bottom 3 names right there?
On the right?
By his right hand.
Tupac?
Right there. Yeah, that's Keefe D is right in the middle.
Okay.
The one to the left is the guy that stole one of the Death Row Records chains.
Oh.
Zoom in a little bit. You can't do it? Okay, it's all good. No worries. So the guy in the middle is the guy that's having a conversation who says, yeah, he offered us $1 million to take him out. Keefe D. And so they try to get the money. They're not able to kill both because he wanted them to kill both Suge and Pac.
In the car?
They only kill Pac, and they don't kill Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right?
Corey.
He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000, and that money never went to Keefe D or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the
chain,
the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain, because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing isn't recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million. Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower. Boom. Muscle.
You see it in this game?
Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just gonna start making y'all
blank
disappear. Man, first I'm gonna take your records off the radio. Then I'm gonna erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out flies. I'm gonna do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics, he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in, I'll drop $1 million, just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head, and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up?
Phrase.
I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to get rid of Tupac.
What an idiot.
He's saying this like that is the level of criminality
and
to say, I'm going to get away with it, right? One day I'm at an NBA game. This was 2 years ago, right before he got arrested. I had done like 3 videos on Diddy. He's at a game with one of his girls. He sees me, I see him. Listen, if there's a guy in the hip-hop world I cannot stand, is this guy. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And then we're locked in. Vinny, when I tell you we're locked in eye to eye, 2 minutes.
And you're not breaking.
Neither one of us are breaking.
And it's across the...
Look, you don't understand. To me, Tupac was as a young kid coming up, he played a very big role
he's
as
in your painting.
Yeah, he's
the most influential people in your life.
To me, that guy was so to me, you took this guy out. I investigated a lot of people based on the reports and things that we talked to a lot of different people. It always comes.
The story takes a dramatic turn as Gene Deal steps back into the spotlight with one of his most explosive claims yet, connecting Diddy, Tupac, and a network of personal relationships into a narrative that has fans analyzing every detail. According to Deal, the tension between Diddy and Tupac was never just about music, fame, or the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, but something much deeper and more personal. He describes the relationship as one driven by hidden jealousy masked as competition, claiming Diddy was heavily fixated on Tupac's influence, charisma, and the people around him. Deal alleges that whenever Tupac formed connections with new individuals, Diddy would later appear within those same circles, suggesting it was more than coincidence and instead part of a recurring pattern that raised serious suspicions. He further paints Diddy's mindset during that era as a complicated blend of admiration and resentment, where rivalry existed alongside fascination. According to Deal, there were moments when Diddy allegedly mirrored Tupac's style, mannerisms, and ambitions, hinting that competition may have gradually turned into imitation. He also questions the long-standing narrative of constant hostility during the East Coast-West Coast conflict by recalling instances where Diddy, Tupac, and Suge Knight reportedly crossed paths and interacted with far more respect and calmness than the public was ever led to believe, making the reality of that era seem far more layered, complicated, and mysterious than history has traditionally portrayed.
Tupac stuff. Now, we all know Diddy and the feud with Biggie and everything, but they were saying that Diddy was really, really jealous of Biggie and Tupac's relationship.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk Burroughs, the president of Bad Boy, he knew Puff real well, real well. So he made those accusations, and then you could see it too. You could see like every girl that Pop talked to. Sally Richardson, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got with her. Sarah Chapman, Diddy got with her. You understand? You know, the list goes on and on and on. You understand? If he seen Pac with him, he wanted him. If he saw Pac wear it, he wanted to have it. You understand? Pac beat him out of the part for Bishop and Juice. You understand? Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, you know, he wanted, and then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
I mean, I've seen quite a few speeches from Diddy. I don't remember.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
Oh, wow.
The same,
okay.
The same. If people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird. It's a strange, weird, I guess, relationship that they had, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Cause I even interviewed Reggie, and like Suge and Diddy were cool too. Even when that beef was going on, I heard they were still communicating and like not. I don't know, man. It was like this weird dynamic that they had.
Y'all thought it was an East Coast, West Coast war. One day we was in behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from, what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter is in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puff is in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues, it was about in the afternoon. It wasn't even late at night or nothing like that. So Puff rolled up to Pac. We rolled up to Pac, and Puff said, "Yo, what up, Pac?" Pac looked at that nigga and turned his head and got back on his phone. My man Riz said, "Speak to Suge. Suge is the boss. Speak to Suge." Puff we roll up to Suge car. Yo, what up, Suge? Nothing much. What's happening? He said, "Yo, man, we got any problems? You know if we got any problems out here?" Suge said, "I don't know no problems y'all got out here." You understand what I'm saying? He said, "We good?" He said, "Yeah, I guess y'all good." You know what I'm saying? You good? They talking like that. We drive off. So, did they talk? Yeah, they talk. I seen Pac talk to Puff after that Quad Studio thing. We was in the Roxy. Pac arm was in a sling. Pac arm was in a sling or something like that. A dude lit a cigarette for Pac. We was in the Roxy downtown. Him and Puff was talking like they was talking.
Damn.
So It's a crazy dynamics, but it is what it is, bro.
Adding even more depth to the growing narrative, Katt Williams' long-standing comments now appear far more intentional and significant, especially when revisited years later. What stands out is that as far back as 2014, almost a decade before the recent Diddy documentary, Katt was already hinting at possible connections between Diddy and Tupac that very few people were willing to publicly discuss. In footage from that period, he wasn't simply making jokes or spreading rumors. Instead, he seemed to carefully imply that deeper relationships and hidden dynamics existed within Tupac's circle long before the most controversial details became widely known. Unlike internet speculation or outside commentary, Katt spoke with the confidence of someone who believed he understood truths that others were either afraid to address or too closely connected to reveal. His delivery felt measured rather than sensational, implying that the real story may have been buried for years beneath silence, loyalty, and pressure, and that what the public is only beginning to hear now could represent just a small portion of what insiders may have known all along.
So, have you heard from Suge?
Yes.
How's he holding up?
Well, first of all, I was there that night. I was with Suge.
Oh, you were with him. Okay. Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them.
It's gonna be a nobody situation.
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, no police had entered the club yet.
Did Suge do anything to provoke this, or?
Nobody in the world has ever provoked themselves being shot.
That's true.
There's only two ways to get shot. Either you believe you're somewhere where a person can't have a gun, therefore making you safe, you know, like an airport or a club that restricts entrance, and a situation where the person already has the gun out and you're standing in front of somebody. Now, if you're an idiot, you can believe this was about Suge Knight, but Suge Knight has been accessible every day of his life for 20 years. We know who it was aimed at, we know whose life he saved, and we know why they won't talk about it. But now the rumor mill would tell you, yeah, see, the same thing Suge was doing to Katt, he was trying to do to Chris. They're forgetting something. Suge has never managed me.
What about the reports that this was gang related? These were two gang members that thought they did it in spite of Tupac.
If it was gang related, then why didn't it happen thoroughly? You see, there's parts of this story that just don't seem to make sense.
Right.
You're saying it was gang related, so that means somebody's gang was shooting at somebody's gang, and then somebody's gang didn't shoot back. That's your story? That's not really how gang stuff works.
For years, one powerful statement from Katt Williams continued to echo throughout hip-hop when he claimed that no one would ever be held accountable, a remark many originally viewed as a general criticism of silence and power structures, but which later took on a far more direct meaning after Williams revealed he was specifically referring to Diddy, completely reshaping how people interpreted his words. The impact of that statement grows even stronger when compared to Tupac Shakur's own carefully worded comments from a resurfaced 1995 interview, where he implied without openly accusing anyone that he believed Diddy may have known more about the 1994 Quad Studios incident than was publicly acknowledged, while also explaining that certain truths were too dangerous to fully expose. Tupac described the unsettling atmosphere that followed the attack, speaking about isolation, distance, and familiar individuals suddenly avoiding him. Details that closely mirror Williams' long-standing belief that silence was being used as a form of protection. The narrative then shifts back to the mid-1990s, when tensions between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop reached dangerous levels, placing Diddy, the Notorious B.I.G., and Death Row Records founder Suge Knight at the center of an increasingly hostile rivalry driven by public insults, industry politics, and deepening personal distrust. After surviving the Quad Studios shooting, Tupac became convinced that several influential figures knew more than they admitted, a belief that intensified divisions within the culture, especially as songs, interviews, and public appearances were interpreted as deliberate provocations. Tupac's alliance with Death Row, his aggressive diss tracks, and his growing influence only heightened the tension, while insiders later claimed fear and paranoia were spreading behind closed doors. Years later, testimony connected to the Las Vegas events surrounding Tupac's death introduced even more controversy, with some allegations suggesting motives tied to rivalry and fear. Although investigators ultimately stated there was insufficient direct evidence to pursue charges against Diddy. Despite decades of speculation, interviews, and insider accounts, no legal accountability ever followed, leaving the case viewed by many as one of hip-hop's most controversial and unresolved mysteries, and paving the way for figures like Suge Knight to continue speaking on a conflict that still refuses to fade from public attention.
In time, you know, Katt is who he is, and if you really want to understand Katt, he on tour right now. Go buy one tickets per row and you're gonna hear it all. He's gonna tell the truth. That's the best way to find out about track.
Even from there, you're selling tickets. You can't, no matter where you're selling. No, the only reason I asked this question is because when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I know you played in the NFL before, when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, everywhere everybody was talking, but also people were quiet. I want to play one of the clips, Rob. If you can play the clip of what Katt said to Shannon Sharpe about Diddy. I just want you to hear this since you haven't heard the whole thing. This is just a snippet of what Katt said about Diddy. Go for it.
These big events is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TGJ, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Now, when this came out, he went after, Diddy, he went after TDJ, he went after a lot of people in the space. Had you, Katt, and Diddy, did you guys ever party together, three of you guys? I know you and Diddy spent some time together, but did you, Katt, and Diddy ever spend time together?
I'm not gonna say I never had a threesome. I damn sure ain't had no threesome with no men. So you talking about have me and
no, that's not what I'm asking.
Threesome hung out together. What you trying to do? I mean, have you said, not me?
Well, listen, that is becoming every day something new pops up where it's no longer a surprise now.
And your telephone number are monitored and recorded.
But I guess the question I'm asking is, did you, Katt, and did you, Diddy, and Katt ever hang out where? And the reason why I'm asking this, where you actually personally witnessed some of the accusations that Diddy is having, saying the fact that he had cameras in the room.
Okay. But this is the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds. Number one, him and I. Number two, I'm the guy that didn't want to invite to those parties. And I'm glad of it. I've never been happy to be left out of my life. But at the same time, I'm not the guy who's in for Puffy's downfall. But I am the guy who supports the victims who got victimized, right? But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows wrong. And I don't think he can get punished as hard as a regular person because, he used to be an FBI informant for a long time, they say. So I'm quite sure that play a role.
You're saying...
Asking the question, me, Katt, and Puffy, we had no reason to be hanging out. Me and Katt hanging out, me and Puffy. So that's that.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant, and he's been one for many years.
That's what they say. Nothing ever happens, but it's still, like I say, it ain't my business. Well, I said that because anybody else gaffered us quick, fast, in a hurry. But the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have a opinion on something that either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there. And I never want to be that type of person because there's only so many people who had Tupac or seen Tupac or talked to Tupac. And I feel that way because I often hear so many Tupac stories from people who never met him, people who wasn't around. Then you had the ones that if they worked at McDonald's and they took Tupac orders, down to mean they know Tupac. Or you was doing security or whatever, down to mean you know the man. All these people been benefiting and capitalizing on trying to put the man down or lie on him or tell some stories that they wasn't there or they know anything about. because I don't think none of these people psychic, and I'm not. You know what happened to the last psychic bitch? She ended up, whoever her name was, the fake Boston voice. You know what happened to her? It all went bad. So I don't like to speculate. So I just tell.
Despite years of rumors, resurfaced interviews, and ongoing scrutiny surrounding Tupac Shakur's death, Gene Deal maintains a steady and unsentimental position, arguing that without solid physical evidence, there is no legal basis to hold Sean Diddy Combs responsible. Speaking about Keith D's upcoming trial, Deal stresses that speculation, regardless of how widespread it becomes, cannot determine the outcome of a case of this scale, since courts rely strictly on verifiable facts rather than narratives or suspicions. He explains that the defense's claims suggesting Diddy was involved in plans targeting Tupac and Suge Knight require concrete proof, and without it, those allegations cannot stand in court. In his view, a murder trial would require clear documentation, traceable financial activity, or credible eyewitness testimony capable of surviving cross-examination, none of which he says has been presented so far. Deal also points to the lack of any confirmed financial trail connecting Diddy to Keith D, as well as the absence of witnesses who can directly attest to hearing or seeing such plans being discussed. Additionally, he questions Keith D's credibility, highlighting inconsistencies in his accounts over time that he believes defense attorneys would likely challenge heavily. Overall, Deal's stance is firm. Public belief and long-standing suspicion may drive discussion, but without undeniable evidence, the courtroom operates under a far stricter standard.
With a murder trial, you can't only use circumstantial evidence. You have to have some kind of physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that Keith D killed or had something to do with Pac's death. There's circumstantial evidence. There's people that could probably testify or what somebody told them or heard. So now, Keith D, lawyers and them did a great job when they did trial by judge. Because the judge is looking for physical evidence. What ties Keith D to Puff? What ties Keith D to the murder of Tupac? And how could they prove that either one of them has something to do with it? Somebody would have to get on the stand and say that I saw him, he told me, and they want to have to believe them. So, do they believe Keith D? If he told a lot of different stories, you got to realize he may have told more than one or two stories, because he tell that story now. What about the stories he told prior to this? You understand what I'm saying? So you're going to look at that. You're going to look at, okay, did he get the money? Where's the money at? Who got the money? Who wrote the check? Who paid the money? Where did it come from? When did it come from? It's a lot of mitigating circumstances in that whole case that is going to be hard to prove. You could easily say anything, but you got to look at that. Keith D defense is going to say, okay, this was a gang situation. Then you hear, Suge telling Pac on one of the things that he told Pac, yo, listen to me, bruh, you done got involved into some gang stuff now, and things might be different. You understand? Because gangs might be involved now. Yo, bro, let me tell you, back in the day, I was there. Let me just say, and what I mean I was there is that, don't you know that a lot of people was coming up dead? There was so many shootings out of LA about crazy. It's a lot of people that came up dead behind that. The Bloods was laying people down, but behind Pac getting shot. It was a big, it sparked a big gang war out there. So, if they want to pull Diddy into that, they gotta mitigate circumstantial evidence. Anybody could be a witness for you, but what can they prove? Somebody's gonna have to say, I heard this conversation. This was a handshake or a nod or something went down, and it's gonna be hard to prove. It's gonna be hard to prove. Unless they follow the money. They were always saying stuff and they try to make it seem like I said it. I never said it. All I said was I saw a check for $1 million, right? Eric Von Zip had a check for $1 million, and he said he got it from Al Heyman. Not Al Heyman. What's the dude's name? He was married to Gladys Knight. Black Ground Records. And Barry Hankerson. And he said, I got this check from Barry Hankerson, and what's the other dude's name? Jimmy Henchman. And it's for me selling my record label to him. I said, I didn't know you had a record label. And when he showed us, and I said us the check, when he showed us the check, it wasn't only me. I said, dog, when did he get a record label?
Despite decades of rumors, resurfaced interviews, and renewed attention around Tupac Shakur's death, Gene Deal maintains a grounded and unsentimental position, arguing that without hard physical evidence, there is no legal basis to hold Sean Diddy Combs responsible. His overall message is firm. Public belief and long-standing suspicion may fuel debate, but without undeniable evidence, the courtroom operates under a much stricter standard.